Hello, and just a short update vlog about using the Ubuntu phone. A little while ago, I did, I think it was November time last year, did a video vlog about having used the BQ Aquarius 4.5 by BQ obviously, with the Ubuntu operating system on it. It's my only smart device. I don't have any others. I wouldn't mind the tablet, but I'm not a massive fan of tablet computers to begin with. But it was my first smartphone, my only smartphone I've ever had. I don't have any backup devices or secondary devices, so if this goes pop, that is game over. So just basically an update on what on it really. There's been a few updates since I last did the video. I think it was on version 28 or something like that at the time. We're now on OTA 11. There hasn't been, at the time of this video, there hasn't been another update for it. Several of the apps have had multiple updates, but no big update on the app, sorry, on the device since then. Now, battery life on the phone is still reasonably good. I do use it a bit more than I used to because a few more apps like Deco for the email, etc., have come out since then. But it's still a very solid system. There's going to be some video footage shortly of me actually using a little bit system, sort of showing you around. Because last time I just inserted a lot of pictures into it. My record with the battery at the moment has been 132 hours, which was solid. I'll also just insert somewhere around here some footage of my girlfriend used my phone to film me and my brother playing squash, so you can see what the camera's like. It kept auto-focusing. Now, I'm not sure why it was doing that. I don't know if there was a glitch with the camera, I don't know if there's a glitch in the software. What I do think it was, I did, since from buying the phone, I never took the protective plastic covering off the back of it until about 2 weeks ago. Um, so it might have just been trying to refocus constantly through the plastic that was on there. But it wasn't too bad, the video quality. I will say, and I do go on to mention it later in the when I'm showing the phone. I will say that I'm surprised there aren't more first-party apps for it by now. I'd have thought people would have picked it up. It's an important system to try and get in at ground floor level. I personally think this system has the potential to outdo the iPhone system, to outdo the Windows system, and it has the potential to outdo the Android system. I think they need to get it on some better known devices. So I do think they need to start immediately shipping it on things like Sony Xperia's, HTC's, things along those lines, because otherwise, whilst BQ is a good make and Meizu is a good make, if it wasn't good, then Ubuntu wouldn't have partnered with it. It's an unknown make that certainly in the UK it's not heard of, so people will naturally be a bit skeptical. For the future, I don't know what the future holds for the system. I do see it going places. I do know I will probably be jumping up to a Meizu next time. At the very least, as I mentioned again later, I'm going to go up to a BQ5 at the very least, to a point. I haven't decided, more because I've got slightly fat fingers and keyboard's not always the easiest one to use. But I'm probably going to try and go up to a Meizu, although a little bit of me finds it hard to warrant spending, was it going to be 300, 400 euros on a phone, which, like I say, goes against all my principles, so it's not a definite, but I might go that way. On the whole, I'm not dissatisfied with it at all. The only thing I would say, some people will say, well, you're dissatisfied, but you've used different wording. It's not the way I see it. I'm not dissatisfied with the phone. There are some shortcomings that I thought would have been addressed by now, and there are a few things that I thought it would do better that it hasn't been able to do. But given where Ubuntu stands in the smart OS marketplace, it's doing a solid job, and I can't fault the device. Again, as I said several times the last time I filmed this, when I filmed the video last time, I can't fault the system. The keyboard's sometimes slow, but I think that's because of the actual phone, or the fact when I'm texting, it's the fact it's got the message. I don't think I've set it to delete messages, so it's just having to load and sift through hundreds of messages, if not thousands. One thing I will say, trying to put a micro SD card in it was not the easiest thing in the world. Could simply be because I've got slightly fat fingers, it could be because it is not the easiest thing to do. I will also say, as I go on to mention in the video, this is the video that follows this, it won't, for some reason, play music I put on the SD card. Now, there's one thing I might do, but it means having to fiddle with the SD card. I'm not really sure I want to do that. Is I might format it in the phone, put it in the PC, get the music and things off it I want, and then put it in the phone again, see if that works. But like I say, can't fault it. I'll probably do an update if there's another update video, if there is a big update for it. But you can see some footage now of me just generally fiddling with the phone. Last time it was just in video inserts, picture inserts, but cut to here. So, it's, as mentioned already, it's been over a year since I've had this phone. The case is, well, as you can probably see, the case is starting to have seen better days. Screen cover, it's not one that's been provided by BQ or Ubuntu. It's one I bought from a little shop in town centre, but it does the job. Now, as mentioned, we're already on OTA 11. There's been quite a few changes. Previously, when I did this, I just inserted screenshots into the video. Now, the system itself, there are a few bugs with it still. The keyboard randomly is not very fast on some messages. Let's have a look and see if we can get a new message loaded up, just to cover over who I've been possibly messaging, so people don't get the wrong. Right, well, that's just a text message from a catalogue that I've ordered, but it's not really anything important in there. But the keyboard's not always the quickest of things. Not always the quickest, however, because that's a new message, that probably proves a theory on another text message that I've been using, which is a bit on the slow side sometimes. The apps themselves, it's still annoying that there's not very many first-party apps, if any. The company I work for, I have been working on a project to try and get them to produce an app. It's been a bit on the slow side in getting them to do anything, but there we are. Now, what I have got on here, I've got quite a few good apps. The body status app for BMI and things, that's pretty damn good. Barclaycard one, in actual fact, I can't remember the guy who built it. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but if Barclaycard wanted in on that, they would just need to ask him, can we have that as the official app? It's that good. Currency converter's not good, not bad. Cut the rope. It's a little bit of a game that's a bit addictive sometimes and drains the battery quite fast. Deco, the email app, it's reasonable. It does chew the battery quite spectacularly. Now, it might also be because I have 5-6 email accounts running through it. It might be why it runs a bit slow, but it's not the quickest of things. Trader Fizz is still a beta, or beta, whatever you want to, however you want to pronounce it. But it's not too bad for a beta. eBay app, it's all right. External drives, I've only just inserted a micro SD card into this not long ago for my tunes, and it's not too bad, but I can't get them to play, which is an annoyance. As previously mentioned on the first video, obviously the audio is a bit up and down, but as previously mentioned in the first video, you sort of swipe sideways, then get all the apps you want, and then pull it down or up, and it exits. Facebook app, it's been updated, unfortunately, because it's the mobile. It's a wrapper. It's the main website in a app wrapper. The messenger service on it doesn't work anymore, which is a bit of an annoyance, but give it one, take with the other. It still works. So they've recently added the ability to post pictures on it, so I did that the other day when I was finished doing some stuff in my garden. That worked relatively well. Let's have a look. Falling Blocks, semi-addictive game. Gallery keeps getting updates, but I can't see what they've done. It might just simply be, as one of my friends has said, it's just doing the same job with fewer lines of code. So I'm just covering that up so people who can see properly. Just realised it's not the smartest idea to do this in front of one of my living room windows, but try to visit sunny and a rare sunny day in the borough. So yes, Spirit Level is what it is. The Messenger app, I'm not sure if that's one of the better ones or one of the worst ones. I have to keep rescaling it to get it to show what I want. The music player, it's reasonable, pretty good. Just centralise that again. It's reasonable. I can get it to play one thing, but not everything I want it to. And what should be, this is the day it actually decides it's just going to full-on crash on me rather than show me what I want to show you. But anyway, it won't play anything off my Oh, interesting. We've got a crash. Okay, well, we'll see if we'll just let us continue on what we were doing. Yes. But the music player won't work properly. The guitar app's pretty good. Night clock's reasonably good. Stopwatch, it's concerned me a few times it's had to be updated. Telegram I've never used. Terminal, I had that for trying to put something on the phone in developer mode. uTorch, it's pretty reasonable. Unit Converter's been quite handy. The weather app's been quite handy. Let's have a look and see if this has decided if it's going to stop. There we go. You see now, if you can read a lot of what's on there, it's probably a lot of Queen. But I still use an old school MP3 player when I'm walking around, not even an iPod for God's sake. So I'm trying to get this so I can just listen to some tunes on the go. That's about as far as the music app ever loads for me. Bit of the Bon Jovi, as you can see, but yeah, not going anywhere with that. But yeah, overall it's a pretty good system. I'll be honest, the system it's pretty good. My girlfriend's got a new Android phone. I've played with the system a little bit. It's not too great, the system, if I'm honest. I don't like it very much. There we go. It's not too bad of a system, the Android. It's not my favourite. It's a step up from the iPhone. Interestingly, my girlfriend, she's used this phone a few times, and a Ubuntu phone is at the top of her list. If she could have got one on a contract, she'd have got a Ubuntu phone on contract in the UK, and that would have been the end of the matter. I'm just scrolling through some of the scopes I have on here. Minecraft, who doesn't? Simon's Cat, oh excellent. But yes, it's still a really good system. It's now finally on, as mentioned, on OTA 11. I can't fault the system too much. There have been occasions, yes, I would have loved to have had a proper first party support for things. Sometimes things do lag a lot. Sometimes it takes forever to load up the actual phone element of the phone when it's just been turned on. It's sometimes has some pretty stupid updates, like I had to update the calculator not that long ago, which was strange. Unusually, we're actually all up to date. I have put it in developer mode a few times for things which I'm not really sure I'm like doing. It doesn't always report crashes. I have set it up to send crash reports to Ubuntu every time it crashes. Doesn't always happen. They haven't really given it too much of a visual overhaul. Side icons have been reviewed probably since the last time I did the video. Phone sound, the sound quality. Let me just play what ringtone I got. You'll probably recognise the sound. There we go. Let's have a look. I'm a fan of the Bosch programs. Now that's probably more because the original sound file is not too brilliant, but it's reasonable. Battery life, I tend to charge up when it's at 50% because, as previously covered in the video when I had the phone 7 months, sometimes the battery used to randomly discharge itself, which is something I've never really been able to deal with, as in I never got to the bottom of what the problem was. It seems to have stopped doing it, but the moment I trust that it won't do it will be the one time it will. As is the way it always goes with tech. But it's still all very motion based. I realise now I probably would prefer to have the Mitsu over the BQ, but BQ is a solid device. It's trying to show you bits of the phone without compromising my personal information and things. Let's say it's very solid. It's very good. His example, I sort of want to be able to press phone and go, not wait for bits of it to load. I'd say it's quite good as a solid device. 3 hours ago, that is. I charged that phone up more than 3 hours ago, silly phone. There are bits of it that are still a bit buggy, which it's going to be. There's no two ways around it, unfortunately. But on the whole, I am very happy with my purchase. I will be upgrading to a BQ, not BQ. No, if I stay BQ, I'm probably going to upgrade to the 5. More because, not necessarily because the keyboard is small, but as you can probably tell, I've not got the smallest of fingers, and sometimes the keyboard can be a bit hard to manage. So if I stay BQ, it'll be the 5 I change to, but I'm probably going to try and see if I can go Mitsu. I've had the phone 2 years next year, so I've actually only had it. Why am I looking ahead? Why not look now? So I've had the phone about 15, 16 months now. Like I say, I use it all the time. I haven't got a spare device. Well, I have. I've got a basic phone, as in a old slide phone if I needed, or an old HTC. And interestingly, this HTC phone, which is my girlfriend's old Android phone, the connection on the HTC is the same connection as it is on the BQ. The sound quality on the phone is pretty good. There have been occasions where people haven't been able to hear me. I can't tell if that's the phone or the operating system making things difficult for people to hear me. Case itself, I wish it was one of these ones that was magnetic rather than what it is, but it is what it is. Just make people go trippy. And there is one thing I wish it could do this. You have to get a separate app for this, and I wish Ubuntu Canonical did this automatically. I wish that the clock would go in there, because then when you shut that, then it's a perfect way to check the time rather than see how many text messages you've sent or how many tracks you've listened to, which I haven't been able to play, how many bubbles popped. I've got a bubble wrap popping game, because why not? Although it sometimes feels motivational. Number of emails, no emails sent, text messages received, no calls received, calls made. You see, it's got a lot of you can turn these metrics off. I don't know why I never did. I don't know, just never appealed to me to turn them off, to turn that metric off. The actual Ubuntu store goes a bit laggy sometimes, but given that nearly all the apps I've come across, or the ones that I would need to use, are free, it's pretty good. Decent selection of games if you like to play games on your phone. Decent selection of apps. I really do like it tells you top apps and top scopes. Scopes I haven't really gotten into. I pretty much just set them up and I haven't really fiddled since I put them on, unless there was a new one like the Minecraft one, etc. But yeah, for the most part, I really can't fault the phone too much. It's a solid system. The established systems need to be worried about it. That's just not me being an Ubuntu fan. Windows Phone Microsoft needs to be worried. Apple needs to be worried. Android needs to be worried. So that's just demonstrating how slightly laggy that's not the video jumping, that is how laggy the Deco app is. I just thought I'd show people how laggy it sometimes is. But for a beta, there's got to be a compromise somewhere. And given the fact I think that's loading up my email account that has like 50,000 emails on it, if not more. But yes, solid system. I still can't fault it even all this time on. And yeah, I can't wait for it to see how it goes. If for some reason Ubuntu decided to pull it, I would still keep it. I would do what I could to keep it going, or keep using the system. So yes, Ubuntu, you've done a fantastic job. I haven't had a chance to get a tablet yet. I know I want to. If you feel generous and you can give me a tablet, please. But overall, I really love the system, and maybe if it keeps going, if they do another big update, I'll do another update video. But take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Either if I go up to a Mitsu, then that might not be for a while, or if they do a big update, then I'll do another update at that point. But Linux phone all the way, and I'll stay safe.